everyone. Everyone is talking about Penrith, and today we have three major concerns about the development, and we will be discussing it in this video today. So today we have Terence and we have Sharon with us today.
So in today's video, right, we will talk about these three key concerns by our clients. If some of you may have watched our video, a short video clip where we address oversupply, rentability, as well as harmonization. Okay, and then we'll also talk about some pre-project info because as of now, it's still very limited information that we have on Penrith. And then we'll do some layout analysis, and of course, we'll talk about our gut feel projected selling price. Okay, so please remember to watch till the end of the video where we'll talk about some recommendations and tips. Okay, for disclaimer, this is a content purely based on our own personal opinion, so please do your own due diligence before any property purchases.
Okay, so today the three major concerns raised that many of our viewers are looking into it is the oversupply and in Queenstown area itself, because Penrith is located in Queenstown area, and the rental, and is there safe exit strategy that they can look at, and last but not least is the harmonization, right? So a lot of friends and relatives are telling us that harmonization is a sure win, right? Because that is smaller and is much cheaper. So Penrith is the first development in Queenstown that is harmonized.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe let us just straight away go into some project brief. As mentioned earlier, we do not have a lot of information about the project as of now. Okay, so we'll just share whatever there is. Let's look at the location of this project. All of us know that it's located very near to the Queenstown MRT station, which is about below 5 minutes walk. Okay, and it's a very good location, well nested in the very mature east-west line. And all of us know that the recent $1 million HDB is also born in Queenstown itself. Okay, so this is a talk of the town. Everybody is eyeing, and it's going to be a pent-up demand that we'll be seeing in this Penrith. Okay, and of course, that being said, we are also well connected to a lot of places. And okay, let's look at the project, some of the project details that we have here. Okay, let's look at some of the project details that we have on Penrith. Okay, it's by our very prestigious developers, Guaco Land and Hong Leong. Okay, as mentioned earlier, mature Queenstown estate, and it's an iconic tower. There will be two iconic towers, okay, 40 stories and approximately about 462 units. We also will be expecting a childcare center over at this project. It's designed by our renowned ADDP architects. Okay, and for unit distribution wise, roughly we can see 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms, with 2 bedrooms spanning about 614 to 678 square feet. 3 bedroom 786 to 1066 square feet, and the 4 bedroom 1173 to 1281 square feet. Later we'll dwell slightly deeper into the unit analysis. And okay, so another thing to note, right? Okay, after sharing all this, the two very recent launches in Queenstown is Stirling and Margaret View. Okay, and everybody is concerned about this question: is there an oversupply in the area? I think this is what we want to look at for any project that is launched in the area. What's the supply and what's the demand that we are looking at? So shall we look at, is there really such an issue, an oversupply issue?
Yeah. So we will be addressing this first concern of the oversupply, and we have picked a few areas with the same attributes for our research purpose in the different parts of Singapore, which is near to MRT station. So this one is a Queenstown area, so where Penrith is, and then we have set about 7 condos, that we done our research, right? 7 condos that's within the walking distance to Queenstown MRT. So we have the Margaret Vale and Commonwealth Towers and Queen's Peak, Queens, and Queensway Tower, Stirling Residences, as well as Anchorage. So these are more the more prominent ones that are nearer to the MRT station. Okay, so roughly estimated number of 2-bedders in this Queenstown area we have worked out is about 1,004 plus units, right? 1,004 plus units, 1,004 plus units. Okay, then that excludes the Alexis, if you can see.
This is a freehold, I guess, so
yes,
we kind of exclude that to give more close attributes for comparison.
Okay, so the next area that we have taken in to do our research is Tanah Merah MRT. So the same, they have about 1,300 plus units of a 2-bedder. in Tanah Merah area. So this has the same type of concern in the east side of Singapore.
Also a lot of units there,
Yeah.
2-bedroom units as well.
Okay, the next area that we are looking at is Lakeside MRT, and this one is almost similar. We have also about 7 condos, and they have about 1,004 XX number of 2-bedders that is around this Lakeside MRT. Okay, if you have been following the news, there is a new condo, right, that's
Yes.
launching in that area as well. Has the land been bidded?
Yes, it has. I think it has been bidded successfully. I think for those of you who have been following, I think the price will be a little bit of shocking to a lot of people. Okay, so the price we can't really remember at this juncture. Okay, but it will not be cheap for the Jurong area. So it will be very likely based on if everything is the same, should be around selling the price of Penrith. Okay, this is based on our prediction. And quickly, okay, so last but not least, right? So why are we doing all this? Okay, it's because we really just want to let you understand and see, actually, is there really an oversupply? Okay, so this moving on to the last plot is the Woodley. So why have we taken all these places? Number one, actually, there's just the MRT over here. Right? And then they are usually around surrounding this MRT, there will be a few developments, like what Sharon has mentioned, at least about 7 of them. Okay, so for Woodley residents, this area, right, we are seeing about 1,200 over units. So we need you to actually watch on. Okay, so first things to check is this is not uncommon. It's actually very normal.
Yep.
Like 1,000 over units in this area. Just to reiterate, no, we only took the 2 bedrooms as a comparison because they usually will be the largest number of dwelling units. Okay, so the key question is, okay, now you tell me already, I know it's not really an issue of oversupply. Then what's next? Okay, so is this really enough? Is this really all that we want to share with you? Actually, it's no. We really want to dive in deeper. No, because ultimately, property purchase is a big ticket item, right? So we need to do very, very careful research. Okay, so comparing, right, as Sharon has mentioned, we really want to bring in to one location with Woodley area, okay, and the Queenstown area because they are all in the RCR area, right, and with the similar attributes. So we have this Woodley residence, Park Colonial in the Woodley MRT area. And we have the Margaret View and Sterling residence in the Queenstown area. Actually, if you can see, all of them, the TOP is around the same time. Some of you probably will be looking at 2 bedrooms, you are looking at investment. Some of you might be looking for own stay. So for the investing, right, to be very truthful, actually, the rental yield, there's not much major difference, all about 3.5 plus minus. Okay, however, if you really look deep, right, how do we compare? Okay, for the 2 bedrooms, we have the Park Colonial at about done highest about 5,005. Whereas if we switch over to Sterling residence, right, it's about 6,005 for 2 bedrooms only. Of course, this is just the average. No, we just took the highest rental done. Okay. So the next key question is, then should be about the same rental wise plus minus, but what we feel, this is actually done the rental taken from the last 2 years. The key question is, what was the major incident event that happened in Singapore during the past few years? Okay, it's actually none other than COVID. So COVID, we all know, actually pushed up a lot of supply, actually took a lot of units out of the market. So actually, we have a very strong concern personally, what we discussed, the 3 of us. Where is the tenant pool coming from in the Woodley area? We do not really know. Okay, of course there'll be a lot. But as a person who has done a lot of rentals, 3 of us, we felt that actually the tenant pool in the District 3 with the Queenstown area actually a lot stronger. You guys have tenants coming from where?
Or One North, Science Park,
Science Park.
Maple Tree, Business City.
Yeah, I think some of us actually have even rented units to people coming from all the way from Jurong.
Yep.
Yeah. So we did really ask them why are they here, because they say although they are working in Jurong, but they prefer to be where nearer to town is.
More central line.
Yes. The east-west, the green line actually is very strong MRT line for a lot of expat tenants.
Yes.
Okay. So then next, we really want to understand, right, for these 4 developments. Okay. So for Woodley residents, 2020, 2019, thereabout, okay, the price that they bought is about 1.3. So likewise for Margaret, although this is an integrated development, so I'm sure you already know what is integrated development. Okay, then for Margaret View, we are also looking at about 1.5-ish, 1.3-ish to 1.4. Okay, 1.5 for the bigger 2 bedrooms. Park Colonial is a little bit different. Okay, we have prices done about 1.2-ish to 1.3, slightly lower price. But if we compare it to Sterling residence, right, the PSF is about 1,007 plus for the typical 2-bed 2-bath. Okay, so for Sterling residence, you see, it's also 1,007 plus. The price quantum is about 1.3 plus back then during the purchase. But what I want to share with you, okay, over here with our viewers is something if you really recall. You all know both these 2 developments, right? When were they launched?
2018.
2018. Do you remember remember actually there was this time actually when I remember we
Camp overnight.
camp overnight in the show flat.
One starry night.
Yes, one very staring that my wife was very angry. Okay, reason is because the developer announced the measures and we all had to scramble overnight now just to get the units done up. Okay, so they were actually sold on the very same day.
Same night.
But then both same time, but very different, outcomes. So if you look at very clearly between them, we look at the profit. So this is actually taken by the highest profits done for the 2 bedrooms for the past 2 years. This is for Woodleigh, it's about close to 400. For Park Colonial, we're looking about as high as only one is done about 400. The rest all 300 over. Okay, so moving on, we will skip Margaret View, because what we really want to focus on is Sterling Residence. Okay, we have few 500s to 600.
Amazing.
Yeah. What can we actually learn and understand from this? Same PSF, just to reiterate, same PSF. Okay.
Same PSF.
Yes, they bought the same PSF, but very different outcomes. Today, Park Colonial, they are selling at about 1.5 each to 1.6, whereas Sterling Residence, we are hitting 1.7, 1.8 to 1.9. Even the integrated development, they are still doing only about 1.6 each. Okay, so can we probably understand that actually Queenstown, higher, probably more preferred area. That's why people are more willing to pay.
Yep.
Alright?
The demand is there.
Yes. So people who are looking at 2 bedrooms like I mentioned earlier, there's only usually 2 types of people. Number one, actually there's the local people who buy for stay. Small families, you prefer this. So we have enough demand from both areas, because both areas we have seen a lot of $1 million HDBs. So a lot of people actually want to stay near town. But then again, we always, when we talk about buying and exiting safely, right, we always want to be very careful, very mindful. So we want to sell to as many people as we can, right? So with the rental being stronger, with better and strong proven tenant pool, right? So the investors, they usually will prefer the Queenstown area based on what we understand. So that is why we have the Homestay group and we have the investors for rental. Okay, so that's why this is what we felt. Okay, what attributed to the higher profits? Why people are willing to pay a higher price for the 2 bedrooms in the Queenstown, in the Sterling Residence area. Okay, so
Terence, am I right to say in this case, right? So we were talking about oversupply. So supply is actually one thing, but if the demand is likewise strong, right? I think we are very safe lah. So usually we always talk about buying in safe, right?
Yes. So buying property is like, if you have watched our video, a very fun video, we talk a little bit about actually buying is very easy. It's really understanding what's next when you exit. So one of the key things that we always want to look at is who will be our future buyers. If we really have a lot of certainty about that, then I think it presents actually a more safer option. Correct, Sharon?
Yes.
I also love Queenstown.
Actually, I grew up in Queenstown.
In the West.
Yeah, it's a very nice place. Okay, but I don't want to bore you. Okay, so moving on quickly.
The next concern that we are talking about is harmonization. So what is harmonization? I think you can look at our other videos that go through about harmonization and how can this harmonization help us. Right? Because I think many of my relatives are saying, harmonize, I think it should be better.
Hot topic.
Hot topic. Many agents out there will also say that harmonization is, sure winner because cheaper and it will be definitely cheaper, smaller, because it's smaller, that's why it's cheaper. So is this the case? Then we will probably have to look.
So we also talk about this. Why are we talking about this? Because we understand Penrith is actually the first plot that is under the harmonized ruling.
In Queenstown.
So will this actually gives the advantage, give buyers like yourself, some advantages over for this project?
Where's the winning edge lah?
Yeah.
So just going through briefly the benefit of harmonization. So we will look at Grand Diamond and Emerald of Katong. Okay, so Grand Diamond is a pre-harmonized. So this is a non-harmonized project, and Emerald of Katong is the harmonized project. Okay, so we're looking at the size. We put the floor plan side by side. Okay, and then we see that their size is actually 1098 for Grand Diamond and 990 for Emerald at Katong. So you see, if I put them side by side, right, basically the livable space on the floor plan, right, is about similar. So you can see,
Not
right,
much difference.
not much difference, because you see all rooms can actually fit queen size bed. Right, similarly, and the kitchen area is also about the same size, and then living area is just slightly bigger for the Emerald Katong. So basically, if you put them side by side, harmonization is actually, the livable space is actually not much of a major difference. So we look at their price. Okay, so for 3-bedroom comparison, okay, so the price for Grand Diamond, right, 1098 square feet, and Emerald Katong 990, you can see that they bought on the same month, 2024 November, and it's a 3-bedder that we are comparing on. You see this one, 1098 is about 2.69, and looking at the Emerald Katong is 2.399. So we actually have a very good saving of about 300 over thousand.
Almost 300,000.
Almost 300,000 savings. So that's why, people telling us that, smaller, then we can have a competitive edge with a competitor. So this is the advantage of harmonization.
But then many agents, that's what agents will always tell buyers in the market, that we always hear. In fact, buyers come up to us, my agent told me harmonization sure good leh. So is this really the case or not? Can we just blindly jump into any harmonization project and buy, and then thinking that it's definitely a winning advantage? Should we have a look?
Yeah, we need to actually have a look
Further to understand.
Okay, so we are just here, we are doing this video, this analysis, so that you can actually exercise more caution, right? Be more prudent in this end day, how many properties can you buy in a lifetime, right?
Right.
Yeah. So using the same thing, right? Harmonized versus non-harmonized. Is there always the advantage or winning edge when it comes to harmonized? So we have done enough research. So this one, okay, same area, Tembusu Grand. Okay, this is a pre-harmonized project, 667 square feet, right? Versus the EOK 624, so much smaller, but this is a harmonized project. Okay, as you can see from the plans, right, the layout plus minus is very comparable, but very, very similar. Okay, so but point to note, okay, be very careful here. Okay, so the date is 2023. Level 2 bought at 1.5-ish. Okay, by right, based on whatever Sharon has just mentioned to us, or rather your agent has checked with you, then harmonized should we see, maybe this is a 2-bedroom, should we see 100 over to 200,000 savings, cheaper and things like that. Okay, so you see this is bought on 17 November during the launch day of EOK. Okay, it was also a seller project. So likewise, imagine if today Penrith is also you are going through the same thing, right? Checks pouring in, will you also make the same decision? Okay, we will not say it's a mistake. Similarly, this is a level 2. By right should be cheaper, but you see in the end this guy, okay, bought at 1.589. In fact, if you really want to be very, very exact, actually they bought about 30k more expensive, almost
so
40k.
PSF conscious, then it will be much higher, right?
Yeah, because you have to understand, being smaller, PSF definitely will, you'll be on a higher side. Okay, but end day, it all depends on how you look at things. Should you be more PSF sensitive or
quantum?
Yeah, but to us, you see, to just imagine, just now earlier we mentioned, Sharon asked, future, okay, should we be very safe? By right, harmonized should be safe, But then today, you see, this is 667 square feet, this is 624. Down the road, when both of these units are TOP, they are in the market selling, right? So which one will have a better advantage? Because this is bigger, same price, right? They just want to sell at the bare minimum. Which one will have an easier way of actually offloading or selling? So that's why it's very important. So coming back to Penrith, we do not know exactly what will be the size, but for sure it's going to be harmonized. So we are not saying that it's not going to be good, but we're just saying that you have to be very careful, have to do your own diligence before you make any purchase.
So at the end of the day, we must look at the layout, because we don't have the layout for Penrith as well as the launch day price.
Yeah, we will touch a little bit more about that towards the end of the video.
So next we'll look at our projected selling price for Penrith itself. So why projected? Because what we have as of now is just the land bid price by Guaco and Hong Leong, which we all know that they are at 2026 PSF per plot ratio.
Yes.
So, okay, if let's say we take an estimated profit margin for the developer to be at about 30%, conservatively okay, is that a good number for us to actually estimate our
why 30%? Okay, it's because I'm sure at this point of this time, right, the Springleaf Residence is a sell-out project. We do wish Penrith will be similarly another sell-out project, right? But because both of them belongs to the same developer, okay? So Springleaf Residence, as you can see from the articles and news, right, is done at average, about 2175. Okay, the land bid was at 1688. So with that, actually, we can see, okay, that it's about 28 to about 30% profit margin, right? So 30%. So we use the same formula to bring us to actually, so with a break-even price of about 2026, right, we should be looking about 2,600 XX, okay, PSF. This is average. This is purely, again, for those of you watching us, this is just what we feel will be the price. Yes, our estimated, yeah. So, and because Penrith will be, how many stories high?
40 stories.
40s, right?
Very
so
high.
very high.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should probably, let's say if you're really very concerned on what will be the highest price,
The loading.
yeah, we should be looking at probably hitting 2,009. We do not know whether it will hit 3,000 or not, but this is possibly. It all depends on what will be the price, whether will the developers price it very attractively for us. Yeah, okay. So then we want to move in, okay, to the layout to really share if you know what we feel about the different unit types. Because Penrith, there's only 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms. Okay.
So there's no one bedder?
There is no one bedder. Okay, that is why for the whole video we never took any one bedder as a comparison. No, we took only straight. We go into the 2 bedrooms to analyze things. Okay, so for the 2 bedrooms, right, we have, as mentioned, the only information on hand now at time of video is we have from 614 to 678 square feet. To be honest, what we usually would do, I'm not sure if your agent has shared this with you before, but with our clients usually come to us, hey Terence, hey Sharon, what is the layout? What do you think will be the layout? So we always try, okay, but we always still have to do a disclaimer that this is what we feel will be the layout. So how do we do? We always take reference from the same developer. Okay. So but for 614 square feet, we tried, we couldn't find anything that has been built. Whereas the only information that we have, right, will be the 678 square feet. Okay.
Okay, so for the 2 bedrooms, right, as mentioned by Terence earlier, it goes up to a 678 square feet. So we are guessing that this 678 should be a 2-bed, 2-bath. But then we have to be very cautious here. Okay, be very careful because it depends on the end day, what is the layout that is going to be reviewed by the developer. Okay, so Terence has covered the smaller 2-bedder to be to our best guess it could be a 2-bed, 1-bath. So 678, right? It will be very challenging if it is a 2-bed, 2-bath, 678 square feet. But end day, it really depends on the PSF because what we guess is about 2007 month, right? But if should 678 turns out to be a 2+ study, then we can see some winning advantage here. All right. Why do we say so? Because in Queenstown itself, the 2 other projects that we mentioned earlier, Margaretville and Stirling, Margaretville 2-bed, 2-bath goes up to 700 square feet, whereas Stirling 2-bed, 2-bath is 689 square feet. So imagine this 678 is a 2+ study layout. So do you see that we have some layout advantage over here with the PSF? I think we work out to be a very competitive quantum and we can look at lah. But again, depends on its loading, okay, by the developer. So if this is a 2006 XX PSF, okay, we may not see any benefit for a 2-bed, 2-bath, okay?
Unless developers actually they decided to just price it more sensitively, attractively.
Right. Unless they go with the quantum play and then put us in yet another advantage position. So like I say, this is purely based on our discussion, our estimation. We should really look at what layout developer is giving us end of the day.
To reiterate, to further highlight on what Sharon has mentioned, most importantly, as of now, we do not know exactly what it is. It's just purely based on our guess, right? 614 has never been done up before, right? So we do not know exactly. So our guess is it can be probably a 2-bed, 1-bath. Okay? But then again, recently, the River Valley area, there's another developer, they actually built a very beautiful 2-bed, 2-bath at 603 square feet only. Okay, so we really don't know. It's just a lot of uncertainty and a lot of question marks. But what is important, for you over here, watching our video is you have to really understand, should you or not? Okay, because it all depends on how the developers actually play the game. What are they interested in doing? Okay, do they actually want to take more profit or do they actually want to actually just sell? Okay, but based on what we feel, okay, there might be some chance. We cannot review much now, but we do have actually a second part for you later if you're still interested. But most importantly, okay, what do we mean by advantage? To really sum it up, because everybody says harmonization. What is the biggest advantage of harmonization? It's smaller. So you get the same layout, you get a smaller size. So that's why with the smaller size, with the even higher PSF, you can have savings, huge savings from there. Okay. So, but let's say imagine what Sharon has mentioned. If the 6, 7, 8 square feet, right? Which is what the developer has actually given us the information on hand now. If they build it for a 2-bed, 2-bath, we are seeing similarly like 700 square feet from Margaret View and Sterling residence from 6, 8, 9 square feet. Then we really not sure, if probably they will be actually just not actually price it so high, they'll be giving us very attractive pricing. We do not know, okay? But based on our guess of 2,600 to 2,700 PSF for a 2-bed, 2-bath, then there's really no beauty advantage. You really have to be very careful. Okay, and it all depends on still two things. What is the pricing? What is the layout? Okay, now we have the 3-bedroom. We should have more certainty because starting from size will be about 786 up to the 1,066. Yes. Okay, so we will not be discussing about the bigger one, the premium. We will be just touching on this because this is not strange to Guaco. Okay, because we have 2 previous harmonized developments. The first one being Lentor Mansion, 786, beautifully done. Right, and then we have the latest one, almost at 90%, Springleaf Residence, both are 786, 3-bedroom compact. As you can see, they can fit in, they're nice. Okay, they are what modern day small family will require, very decent.
Layout.
Yes. For those of you who probably will ask, hey, then Lentor Central 786, they actually do it the other way. The 786 actually will be a 2+ study. Okay? So this is us actually sharing with you. As you can see, right, the layouts, can I say, they are very similar in a way. Yeah, so we are just hoping that actually they may turn out to be this, right, very efficient. So if it's, then this may be something that you can really consider. Okay, so then what is actually the advantage? Okay, so then we did a simple comparison with neighboring developments. So for 786, what can you get in Sterling residence? But you can only get a 2+ study. Okay, and most importantly, you see 2-bedroom, 2+ study, you'll be getting, what are we looking at in terms of price? You're looking at almost hitting 2 million, 1.98 million for a 2+ study. Okay, so whereas imagine for Penrith, 786, same size, harmonized development, you pay maybe 2,650 PSF, right? Times 786, you should be looking at about 2.1, I think. It's about 2.1. Pardon me, my math is not very good. Okay, but this is what we're expecting. Okay, and most importantly, if we look in further with Sterling residence, the 3-bed compact, the smallest one, we are looking at 883 square feet. Okay, so for 883 square feet, we are already hitting 2.2 million already. So today we have a chance, new launch and resale. If the price is right, this is probably something that you can consider.
And we are getting a 3-bedroom.
We are getting a 3-bedroom, right? So if we look at Margaret View, it's bigger, 915 square feet, 7 minutes to MRT. Okay, further, this is actually by far in the area one of the furthest to the MRT. Also done about 2.1-ish. Okay, 2 to 2.1 over million for a 3 compact. Okay, so assuming Penrith, the 3-bedroom 786, we take 2,650 as a guide, as an average price. We are looking at 2 below 2.1 million. And 2.1 million 3-bedroom today, I think is very common. Okay, so for you who are looking for a couple, small family, I think this is something that you can seriously consider. Alright, so with that, I think this is probably what we have. Okay, of course, bearing in mind, everything that we have shared, the price prediction is purely what we feel, right? Our personal opinion, and of course, the layout analysis, the size is really us actually just trying to do this for you. It's our first time doing this, because we have a lot of requests from our friends. Say, hey, tell me, because they are very interested. So if you are very interested, this is something that you can consider doing. Okay, so if you want more, what we can do is actually to send you personally, our video analysis once we have the floor plans, we have more details. So every step of the way, if we know, you will know. Right? Do drop us a DM. Okay, this is the 3 of us. Sharon, okay, our VVIP speaker for the day. And this is Sharon, my partner, and
Thank
Terence.
you for having me.
Okay, yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.